Hey there, good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with a mini-series we've been running Monday to Friday. This is episode number 4, which is going to be on what I call the worst albums by these bands. So the two I've chosen, this one, Point of Entry, and this one, Iron Maiden's X Factor. Those are the two I chose for it, but we're going to get a little bit of an explanation there. So we'll start by talking about Iron Maiden. So the reason this is probably my least favorite is because there's still some that I don't own, but I don't find this to be very Iron Maiden-like. It's heavy metal, yes, but it doesn't sound like Iron Maiden. It's more slow, more melodic, and the vocals seem to fit that style, but it's not necessarily sounding like an Iron Maiden album to me. Some people love this album. I know there's a few people out there who have big YouTube channels that really do like this album and is among their favorite. I personally don't care for it at all. And maybe if it wasn't an Iron Maiden album, I might view it differently, but because it's got that moniker on it as Iron Maiden, just doesn't feel like Iron Maiden to me. There's nothing about this that really reminds me of Iron Maiden. So this album, of course, came out in 1993, I believe. Yep, 93. Features Janet Gears, Dave Murray on guitars, Steve Harris, of course, on bass, Nickel McBrain on drums, and Blaze Bayley on vocals. He takes over from Bruce Dickinson. I don't think he's a bad vocalist, don't get me wrong, nor do I think this music is probably that bad. I don't think it's really that bad. It just doesn't sound like Iron Maiden, so it loses me because of that. And I can't even pick a favorite track because I've only listened to it a couple times, and it's just, there's nothing on here that appeals to me at this point in time, so I'm not going to give you a favorite song off of it. The other album, Point of Entry, I'm much more familiar with. It's been around a lot longer, and the reason I chose this album is because they're the kind of classic thought of as worst albums by Judas Priest usually is Nostradamus or possibly the two albums in which Rob Halford is no longer vocalist on those albums. But I don't own any of those albums, so I can't put them down as my worst favorite. There's other albums I don't own by them yet either. This one, of the albums I do own, this one, I like it. So it's not an album, it may be their worst for me here, but it's only because I like the other albums better, not because this is a bad album. It's very commercial sounding, probably more so than any other album they have. Or any other album I have, if you prefer it. If I had to pick a favorite track on this, I would probably go with the opening track, Head Out on the Highway, although I do like Soldier Angels too, so that would be my favorite track. So, of course, the members of this band are the classic members of Judas Priest, which include Rob Halford on vocals, Glenn Tipton and K.K. Downing on guitars, Ian Hill on bass, and Dave Holland on the drums. So, yeah, not a bad album. Even though I'm putting it down here as their worst album, it's only their worst album of the ones I own. I'm sure the other ones, if I get them, will probably eclipse this one for the spot. But for now, that's the choice I've made. What else can I say about it? Yeah, so pretty much sums it up. I don't think there's anything else to say. Oh, the one thing I did mention, this came out in 1979. I did forget that, so wanted to make sure you see that. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. If you want, you can put down what your worst album would be, or what you think of the albums I've chosen for that, or talk about Judas Priest and if they have bad, or Iron Maiden if they have bad albums. You can put any of that kind of stuff down too if you want in the comment sections. And we'll be back for the final episode tomorrow, which will be my favorite Judas Priest album and Iron Maiden album. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow to end up the episode. to end up the series. So hope to see you all then. So have yourself a good night. Goodbye here from the Prog Monster.